There's a relationship that a lot of people don't see between self-conscious and image conscious. It can kind of be a journey from self-conscious to image conscious. Now, some people are image conscious just because they're image conscious. A lot of people struggle with that self-consciousness. What that feels like is a self-awareness that spikes up and suddenly we shut down. We hesitate more. We hold back more. We're not sure how we're coming across. How we're coming across is a worry to the self-conscious. How we're coming across is a strategy game in the image conscious. So personally speaking, I have had a long journey from one to the other. And I was very self-conscious when I would speak. I would not exactly stammer. I would just stop. I would lose my place. I was always self-doubting and questioning, is this the right thing to say? Am I the right person to say it? Is this the time it needs to be said? What should I say? And I was so worried about how I was coming across that I would forget my content. I remember a time when I was the one with the idea and we were in the meeting about the idea. And one of my colleagues says, Dean, share the idea. And I couldn't do it. I lost my place. I lost my content. And then when I did find the content, I couldn't feel it. So self-consciousness is attention going the wrong way, but it can start a journey towards image consciousness. And image consciousness is the fight, whereas self-consciousness is the flight. You get into a situation where that fight or flight response is happening inside, and you flee. And flee is simply shutting down, holding back, hesitating, letting someone else take the lion's share of the risk that goes with presenting. Every presentation, every self-expression, it comes with an inherent risk. Image conscious people kind of get excited about that. It's not that the risk isn't there, it's that we're into it. We're going to take it on. We're going to take the fight. And the fight of self-conscious to image conscious is actually communication. The fight is rising up and making your point, standing on that hill, knowing, it might become your hill to die on. You put yourself out there, you take on the risks, bring it on. That's what fight is. So when you think about fight, is you're taking on the risks of going to the mat with someone. In physical world, that can be hazardous. In the communication world, it could affect your career. It could affect, make an embarrassing moment. It's not physically dangerous. It's far less dangerous. And taking on the danger makes you courageous. So idea one in this vlog is, let's take fight instead of flight. And let's rise up to those communication moments and focus on our image. We're going to focus on how to come across well by focusing on what the task is at hand. It's stepping up into it. One of the techniques that helps you step into it is to appreciate the people that you're talking to. If you're in a physical fight, you don't really necessarily appreciate your opponent. That's the person you're trying to take down. In this scenario of communication, we appreciate our audience, the people we're trying to win over. They're not really our opposition. Most of the time, people want you to succeed. They're rooting for you more than they're rooting against you. But the experience is often tough questions, sort of a wall. They might not be showing their reaction. They might be skeptical in their vibe or appearance. And so when you appreciate, so look at the vibe. When I'm appreciating you, who I can't actually see, and I'm in the hot seat by myself, when I appreciate you, my vibe shifts. It's a sage presence standard, is to go to appreciating the people you're communicating with and recognizing that love for what you're trying to communicate, the love for what you do, the love for your idea, the love for what you're pitching, the love for the clients you help and the leadership team you're trying to serve, that's a choice. I don't always love my colleagues, but I can choose to love my colleagues, and I can choose to appreciate my audiences. So let me summarize it in two parts. There's a journey where the self-consciousness that holds you back is simply the flight reaction to the communication version of fight or flight. And the fight version is stepping into it, taking ownership, being a leader, being a communicator, and trying to influence and inspire no matter what happens. I'm all in. And the all inness is what takes that positive, good communication fight energy that allows you to bring your ideas out onto the table and help make them happen. You're fighting for those ideas that are going to make a difference for the people you're trying to help. And that's on you to take that on. A way to get more comfortable is to realize that self-consciousness is a self-focus, where image consciousness can be an outward focus. I can be excited about the study of how I'm landing, and I can actually kind of learn from it and enjoy when sometimes I'm not landing the way I want. I can even enjoy the failure now and again. Wow, that totally didn't work. But it's a time to get back into that ring and communicate again and learn from it. So those of you who suffer, as I did, from self-consciousness that creates that awkwardness, I would suggest you philosophically bond with the idea that that's the stepping stone towards image conscious, where you can embody your personal brand and bring that out to the world and fight the good fight for the ideas that you represent and the people that you want to help.